So as you guys know, over the past couple weeks, I've been having a lot of fun with slime block based flying machines. I hadn't really played with them too much in the past, but just recently, I've really gotten into them. I've built missiles, I've built carpet bombing machines, and now I'm going to try my best to take the knowledge that I've learned from those two things and create a tank. This is going to be interesting. You see, when I built my carpet bombing machine, we actually built a piston feed tape on the inside of it. You can see this is actually cycling around, and that's how we dispense out our TNT. After building this thing, I later learned that, of course, I could have just used TNT duplicators, which would have been much more dangerous. But this is a really, really cool contraption, and I can make use of this piston feed tape to create tank tracks. At least that's kind of the plan. So what kind of looks like a tank track block? That's a question that I've never really had to ask myself. That is perfect. Okay, right, I guess we should start trying to wire up the piston timings for this thing, which have already gotten me confused. So what I need to do is I need to power this piston here, retract this, then push this across, and then this entire mechanism will have to move. And then we'll have to extend this piston again. So this piston will fire, then this piston fires, then this piston fires again. Yeah, because this top layer has to travel twice as fast because obviously the piston feed tape is actually moving along with it, if that makes sense. Oh my god, my head is not working. Right, let's give this a go. What we should see here is this piston extend across, then this sticky piston extend and retract. And that would be almost like the first part of our little circuit, and no, that is not a good start. But this is considerably better. Okay, so if we were to have, say for example, a block here. I think that's good, so we just need the second pulse of that piston, but I don't know if that's actually timed correctly. So difficult to tell. Whoa, I've done something crazy. I've split. I've never done that before. I've split these pistons from their slime blocks. How is that even possible? Anyway, now that that's all fixed, this is actually working. So as you can see, now I've got the timings correct. And hold up. Yeah, I thought that might be the case. Okay, so we need... Wait, what? Yeah, so the reason that we need that piston to fire twice is because otherwise this little part of the flying machine just gets clogged up with blocks. You'd be really limited with the number of blocks that you can have in the piston feed tape. But what that means is that as this thing flies, so this will push across the block, getting it out of the way, and then this piston will push up that block, and then it will push these blocks along so that this flying machine can then move forwards and match up with this. And then this will fire, pick up this block, and so on and so forth. And this might just about do it. Let's see. How's that happened? How do I keep losing pistons? So it's firing at the perfect time to separate it from the... That shouldn't be possible. What? That's ridiculous. Clearly I still have much to learn in the ways of flying machines. Now that I've slowed it down a little bit though with our motor, it is actually now working and it is actually picking up blocks. So if we take a look here... Yes, this is what we want. It looks messy, but it actually functions and is working. This is a really cool thing to watch. But this is arguably more satisfying. So we have got one side of our tank tracks going down onto the ground. And, I mean, I could watch this all day long. I seriously could watch this all day long. But, of course, we can't just have one side. This is a very lopsided motorbike tank at this point in time. We need to have our second side, which hopefully... should be quite simple, he says with some trepidation. And it definitely deserved said trepidation because I have had to do a lot of redesigning here. I've had to redesign the entire back section and the entire front section of the piston feed tape, so basically half the machine, but now it should be working for this one side, which is now copy and pastable to the other, because we want our tank to be fairly symmetrical. So, after making many backups, it is now time to boot this thing up for the first time. Now, I don't think I have enough blocks in my tracks, But this is very promising, so we just need to fill in this gap here. Okay, so that's one of the tracks done. And then if we take a look at this side, you can quite clearly see how many blocks are missing, which is quite helpful. So that is our other side. Both of them are fully in sync, because that's something that I was a little bit concerned about. And we actually have ourselves a machine that looks like it is using tank tracks. It looks like it. That looks like it's moving using those stairs. Okay, so that is part one of our process all completed. Now we actually have to start work on, well, I guess we can do some decoration, but also we need to start work on the actual weaponry because we want this thing to kind of be functioning as a weapon. Now, I would say the chances of this thing working first time are about 0, to be quite frankly honest with you. But what I've done is I've built up the entire central section so that it actually has more of a body to it. So beforehand, we just kind of had the chassis, like the running gear. Now we actually have a place where the player can stand in this thing. So if we drop down to the bottom and activate this piston somehow, I guess something like that. It stopped working. The bottom of the tank has just left. It's just gone, nah, we can leave this behind. You know what? This is almost like the motorbike which comes out the front of the Batmobile when the Batmobile gets all smashed up. In a way, I would say that's kind of a success. Alright, back to the drawing board then. Thankfully though, that's all fixed. It turns out there was a little problem with this back section right here, and I would say that the improvement I've made has actually made this thing look cooler. I mean, look at that. That looks like a monstrous little machine. And if we just stand inside this slab here, I'm riding in my tank. Alright, I love it. Absolutely love it. Okay, let's start work on... I'm in two minds here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a decorative weapon for the time being. And then once I've done that, I'll see if I can actually make a functioning weapon. That seems like a good way to go for me. Well, I think it's safe to say that the decorative weapon has worked a treat. I mean, that is a tank. There's no denying the fact that that is a tank. If I'd never played Minecraft before, I would see that and think it was a tank and also think to myself, I really want to play that game. That looks incredibly interesting. So that is... Okay, so that's the tank completed. But now what I want to do, as I mentioned earlier on, is I do want to see if I can create some form of TNT launcher in this thing. It's going to be difficult though. I mean, we could launch it straight out, but I feel like the tank would actually catch up with it. So we kind of need to launch it up and out. Because otherwise, we don't want to launch TNT and then drive into it. That seems like a pretty bad strategy. But, I mean, I don't want to rule anything out if it is actually going to work. So let's see if we were to do this. Yeah, that's not going to do the trick, is it? We will literally run over our own TNT. Oh, I don't know what to say about this one. So I've built a prototype. And it is ugly. I'll give you that. It's definitely ruined the nice lines that we had in our original tank. But it could function. We have something that could end up launching TNT. Maybe. Alright, the idea is there. The idea is functional because look, if we take a look at that, you can see that we get the push up and pull down. The only thing that I didn't think of is that slime block also needs to be pulled along. How am I going to do that? Could that just be done using a block out the back here? So we don't actually need those. So we can get rid of those. We can put this back. So that still works. If we place a block at the back here... Okay, no. We're quite close though. This idea is pretty stupid, but it might just work. Let's see... if it does. It does! It does, it does, it does! Look at that! Okay, so we have got... That is our TNT launching mechanism right there. That's the one. So if we were to ignite this... Yes! That's not so good. But yes! I think it's safe to say that my gorgeous looking tank has been ruined, but there is a chance that it now actually functions. So here goes. Take that one as a no. The good news is that the tank can beautify itself by removing its own gun if you place the blocks in the correct order. Right, this is taking me so long, but I really want to get this. And I actually have a pretty good feeling about this design. Not only do I think it will work and keep the TNT in place, but also it should be auto-igniting. So if we just take a look here, it's quite difficult to actually place in the TNT, I have to say. Yes! It functions! It works! It actually works! So there we go. We have got ourselves a working tank. Finally. Oh my gosh. This is taking me so long. I wonder. Oh no, no. Okay, see, look, it even protects itself from that sort of thing. But I wonder if we can create some kind of magazine here. I mean, surely if we were to place in... This is going to be really, really tricky. Well, that idea didn't quite work out just because the machine actually works. Oh, no, it does. Yeah, that idea didn't work out. Anyway, we got there in the end. This thing does work. It's a functioning system. It launches TNT out the front. Obviously, it's nowhere near as pretty as it was without our gun mechanism. But that's life. I wanted to get this working. I wanted to complete this project, and in my eyes, it wasn't complete without some form of TNT cannon on the inside there. So there we go. That is my tank all done and dusted. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button. And if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.